This is Eric Hunter back again. And I'm going to show you in this video how to dowse a chart. I've had people ask me over and over again, can you show us the pendulum actually moving over the chart? And so this video is for you if you want to see it in action. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shift over now so that the computer is facing this, the camera is facing this, so you can see me dowse this chart. And this is a chart that you would find in color healing, effective dowsing, many of the programs that I teach. You'll see this basic chart where we have both colors and sometimes percentages. And just as a quick note, color is extremely useful to use in a chart like this, because what you're doing when you're doing a pendulum reading of a chart is your subconscious mind or your unconscious is using the chart to help you translate information into hand movements. So you ask a question, and then using your senses, it could be like psychic senses, clairvoyant, or even other types of senses, all senses known or unknown, you're sensing the answer, or you're using your intuition and sort of feeling what the answer is. Also, you might just have knowledge either in your conscious awareness or unconscious awareness. So all of this is accessible to your subconscious, your unconscious mind. And your unconscious mind needs a way to translate that into hand movement so that the pendulum will move and give you the answer. So you are asking the question, then using your senses, intuition, and knowledge, your subconscious mind is then reading that and then taking that and translating into hand movement. Now, the advantage of doing it this way rather than verbally stating it is what scientists have found is that if you use your unconscious mind and the pendulum to move, your unconscious mind to move your hand and therefore move the pendulum, the answer is less biased than if you have to translate the answer into words. So you're able to skip a step, which is verbal translation, and verbal translation introduces bias into the results, and bias causes inaccuracy. The goal with pendulum dowsing is to truthfully state, to the best of your ability, what you sense, intuit, or know. That's what pendulum dowsing is. Now, if you do not know the answer through any of these senses, it's just going to be chance whether or not you get a right answer. But if you can determine the answer, then it's going to be greater than chance because somehow you know it, either through your senses, your intuition, or your knowledge. And so the goal is to reduce the amount of bias as much as possible, because there are limits to what we can know, and there are certain things that are just unknowable, other things we could know, but so we can't control that. That's out of our control. Either we know it somehow or we don't. But what we can control is our bias. So just to give you an example, let's say you can't eat ice cream because for various reasons it's extremely bad for you to eat ice cream. But you really want ice cream really badly. And so you're like, well, I'm going to take my pendulum and try it out. So then you try it out and say, oh, look, it's going to the yes. You're lying to yourself because you want to make the answer happen. So the goal there is to try to get rid of that bias or, fudging it or, making it so that, you're giving an answer that isn't true at some level. And the way you can get to that point is through practice. You have to learn what it feels like to give an honest answer and learn what it feels like to give an answer that's just the answer you want to hear that day. So that's where practice comes in. But in terms of accuracy, the best you can do is just hope for an honest answer and try to get an honest answer. And over time, you will find out what situations you're accurate in, which ones you're not. Now, with that said, let's jump to the chart. Thanks for listening to my little lecture there on pendulum dowsing. And I'm going to pull us down to the chart. All right, so here's the chart. And this chart has colors and numbers on it. And these colors each have a symbolic meaning that you can learn, and then your subconscious mind can translate that into information. And so in the color healing course, we explain, and also in effective dowsing course, we explain what these colors mean. So for example, blue-green here means optimal health, ideal circumstances. It corresponds to 3 o'clock in the afternoon, the time of maximum solar impact during the day. It also corresponds to the middle of summer. It corresponds to the height of youth. So a lot of positive associations with this color. So cool thing about this chart is if you learn what the colors mean, your unconscious mind can very easily use this chart to give you information, because it doesn't have to translate it into words, because the colors are symbolic of meaning. All right, the other thing you can do is you can use this percentage scale. And this chart is really useful because it goes from 0, one side, to 17%. Now, these values are approximate, but basically anything on this side of the chart, you're approaching 100%. Anything on this side of the chart, you're moving away from 100%. And that is very useful information. So like, let's say you want to buy a new car and you test it out and you get an 83% yes, that means you are heading towards 100%. You are getting close to getting a good deal on this car. There's just something that's missing from it to get you there. Likewise, if you go over here and you see 83% yes, you're like, well, those are the same value. Like, how do they differ? This means that something is not quite right. You need to take something away in order to get to the 100% yes. So basically anything on this side means you're trending in the right direction. Anything on this side means you're moving away from the right direction, even though values on each side are the same. So that's very, very useful information. It tells you if you're heading the right way or heading the wrong way. And it shows you how to improve. Other things you can do, like let's say you do a healing, you can then check on the chart and see like, well, how effective was the healing? Oh, it was 66% effective and we're heading the right way. Or it was 66% effective, but it's kind of trending in the wrong direction. So what can I do differently next time? Or what can I add in? This is very, very useful information. So it's not just yes or no. All right, how do you do this? So it's very, very simple. You take your pendulum, I have my trusty skull pendulum here, and all you do is you just swing it towards the chart and it will go in a certain direction. So let's just say, I'm just trying to think of some random question like, I don't know, is it going to rain today? Let's see. And now it's going between these two here. It's going between 0 and 17%. So how do I know what the answer is? So I bring it over here. It's not moving too much. I bring it over here. It's spinning around. So my subconscious or unconscious mind is saying that there is a 17% chance of rain today. So on this chart, that's how you resolve a conflict when you get onto this bottom part. You just move it to one side or the other and see where it spins. Of course, you have to test this against reality. You can check the Weather Channel or whatever and find out, or just experience the day and see what happens. All right, let's just do another one. Like, do I need new air in my car tires? Let's see. All right, I get 17%. So you see how it's swinging over this white value here? So if you're ever not certain, like let's say it's swinging between black and white, you just move it over the value you think it might be and then see. So my car tires, all right, 70%. So that means I'm doing pretty good. I'm going to need air eventually, but right now my car tires are doing pretty well. Let's see. What could be another one? All right, I'm going to get a package in the mail today from FedEx. Let's see how that one goes. All right, I'm getting 100%. Yeah, see, it's going right over that. So if it's just doing it a little bit and you're not sure, like, oh, wait, where's it going? It's not going, then just move it up to the color you think it is. Another way you can do this too is if you're not comfortable with swinging it out, like let's say, like what you do is you just literally just swing it towards the chart while asking your question. Or you could say, what's my energy level right now? Okay, so it immediately swung to 83% green. So that means that my energy level is pretty good, and it's heading in the right direction, but it needs something. So I'm just going to send some energy to myself. So I send myself blue-green energy now. All right, I did that command. I'm going to do another one. I send red energy to my root chakra now. Dear Divine, I dissolve any blocks of thinking or feeling that I'll be at the perfect energy level right now. Okay, let's check this out. So where is my energy now? All right, my energy's at 100%. So that's good. So that little healing pushed it in the right direction. And that's what I want to see. Now, I may need a little energy tune-up. I may need to do some exercise. I may need a snack. Who knows? I can check that out today. But that's another really useful way you can use this chart. And another way you can do this chart too is like, let's say you're not comfortable with swinging it out. You can also just move it over the different colors. And then when it hits a certain color, it might start swinging. So I'll try another one. Let's see, what would be a good one? My dog enjoyed her walk this morning. Let's see where it's at. Any of these go. Oh, looks like I got some work to do for my dog. Uh-oh, 50%, yes, trending in the wrong direction. I think I better take her on a better walk later this afternoon. So it's not horrible, but the fact is it's not heading in the right direction. It wasn't a horrible walk, but it wasn't a great one for her either. Granted, it was pretty cold outside and kind of miserable this morning, and I took her out a little later than usual. So, dear Divine, highest good of all concerned, I will take my beautiful little baby on the perfect walk this afternoon. Oh my God, when I said that, she turned around and started looking at me. It's so cute. Yes, I love you, little angel. Okay, so I'm going to take her on the perfect walk later, and she's absolutely going to love it. All right. Yeah, so now what's the probability that we're going to have a great walk later this afternoon? Okay, it's right. Okay, we're at 100%. So that's good. We're going to be trending in the right direction later today after this video. All right, so you get the idea. The basic thing is you got to have a chart of some kind. I highly recommend using a chart. Charts help your subconscious or your unconscious to organize information and to communicate with you. Otherwise, you need to use words, and words cause confusion for the subconscious mind, and they mess up your answers. All right, next, you need a chart that's super easy to read. If the chart is too complicated, your unconscious or your subconscious mind is not going to be able to do a good job with it. That's why I don't like those pendulum charts that have hundreds of little bits of information on them. Some people love them because they look really cool, but honestly, it sucks for your subconscious mind. You've got to have something that's simple and intuitive and easy to understand. Using colors, extremely easy to understand. It's like color coding. It's like color language. It's not verbal, but it affects us on many different levels. Each color has a psychological impact. Each color corresponds with something in magic. Each color corresponds with something in human health, and the human brain can understand this very easily. Also, percentages for most of us is pretty easy to grasp intuitively, 50%, 100%, 83%. We're pretty good with that. So if you're going to use a chart, use one that is simple and easy to use, because all the chart does is help your unconscious or your subconscious navigate so it can move your hand over the pendulum. Other than that, there's nothing magical about the chart, except for the thought that went into making the chart. And if the chart is complicated, don't use it, because it's going to be harder to get good answers. These effective dowsing charts, charts you see in all my courses, color healing, whatever, like this one here from Effective Dowsing, extremely useful, easy to use. So in summary, use the chart, swing the pendulum over the chart after you say what you want to do the reading of. It will show you the energy. You can also just swing the pendulum like this over the chart. That can show you where the energy is. If you get an energy reading you don't like, do pendulum alchemy to get a reading that you want to make it more likely to happen. And also remember that this side of, and this particular chart, this side of the chart is showing you, yeah, we're heading in the right direction. This side of the chart shows you, yeah, it's okay, but we're heading in the wrong direction. So this shows you going the right way, going off. It's still not bad. Like 83% is good either way, but if things keep trending in this direction, it's going to go down to 17% and then eventually 0. Whereas if you're in this side, it means you're trending the right way and you're eventually going to get it 100%. So this is a very useful chart to use. I hope this video was helpful. Let me pause it here and I'll come back and say goodbye. I hope this video was helpful and that you liked it a lot. And I will see you in the next one. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day. Eric Hunter signing out.